It's another full moon, and it's time to power up and step into your life and expect as much as you can get. Sometimes we're lifted way up, we get our peaks, and then we drop back down. I mean, we get doubts and insecurities jump in, stress. And one thing I've learned is that we have a lot of energy inside. We are our own generator. It's much like when the power goes out and you have a battery backup in your house or a generator sitting when it gets dark, you lose the lights, right? So we have that same thing deep inside us. And it's up to us to find it. Sometimes it gets really tough, but we can't let it go. And one of the best times, at least I've found out, and it's been a beautiful tool for me, very powerful tool, is on the full moon to re-engage with our goals and the things that we want to accomplish in our life, in our year, in our month, in our week, in our day. And I'm talking mostly long-term here because this program is based on the New Year resolution. And so where are we on our New Year resolution at the moment? Have you forgot about it? Have you left it behind? That moon behind me is the big reminder in the sky. Not only is it a big bright light in the sky, it is very powerful. And this particular full moon, the tide is super, super high. So in my little town, I've got a dock, and generally it goes down to the floats. But now, last night, it was up, and the float is higher than the fixed pier. At extremely high energy time, the power of the moon pulling in the tide like that. Then, on the flip side, at low tide, it's an extremely low tide, and it will continue to be for a couple of days. So this is a powerful period, not only to be reminded by the bright moon that we want to plug in and not lose focus on what our goals are and what our dreams are, and find that power inside. And if you don't have it, you got to sit down, you got to generate it, you got to take some deep breaths, and you need to walk around, you need to move. And there's so many times I certainly don't want to exercise, and I know there's a lot of people that don't want to, but I say, let me just go for 5 minutes. I really don't feel like it, but I'm going because I know after 5 minutes I'm always going to feel better. But the reality is it never happens for 5 minutes. Once I get moving, I'm generating energy, which lifts me up. And I'm like kind of chuckling at myself now because there's no way in hell I could stop after 5 minutes of exercising, whether it's walking, biking, swimming, rowing. It just doesn't matter what the thing is. Whatever the thing is for you that you like to do, that energize, even dancing, right? Turn the music up and dance like there is no tomorrow. But for sure, the more you dance, the bigger your tomorrow will be. So find that magic inside that generator and build up the power. You can do it. You can do it, especially in these times. It's really like kind of challenging times, right? These are probably the most challenging times in a long time. And we need to walk above that noise. And I find myself, I've walked out of my house a couple of times and left my phone behind. And I'm thinking, oh, let me go back and get it. And I'm like, for what? I'm going out, I'm going to the beach for a walk on the beach or a ride on my bike or a swim in the ocean. And why should I bring that extra baggage mentally and physically along? Because there's so much. Now it's just repeat. And what I need is to be lifted up. And I have a few people that I listen to. One of them is myself, but a few other people out there that I listen to that help me walk above that noise. But there's other people I listen to, and they're kind of doomers and gloomers. And what I have to do is when I listen to them for a few minutes, I reflect and I say, well, I'm sure glad that's not me focusing on that stuff. And here in New England, I mean, it rains a lot and it's cloudy and it's cold and there's a little bit of negativity in the air. And not always, but I'm just walking around. I'm in the supermarket or I'm out in the park or whatever, and I overhear someone say, "Oh, such a beautiful day. Oh yeah, but it's going to rain tomorrow." So why even bring that dark gray thought in when it's beautiful and sunny all around us? So we can't pay attention to people that are going to pull us down. And what we can do, though, is when we hear those things, we learn from those things and we say, I'm not going to be those things. And what I am going to be is I'm going to be energized and I'm going to bring the light. So there's so many people saying, oh, you got to have this high defense and all this. Well, quite frankly, maybe you do, but there's a way to be defenseful using just bright light and the universe and strong, powerful, positive forces that'll push away any of that negativity. And what happens to the negativity? It goes to places that attract it. So when we put out this high positive energy and we don't focus on that energy, we don't allow it in our mind, in our words, in our field, then it can't show up. And the expectation that I have learned, it's not my thing, not where I found it. I found it online somewhere in a book. It's somebody's quotes that said, be realistic, expect miracles every day. And then I combined that with another little abundance card I found that said, expect the best to happen, and it will. But if you expect anything less, guess what you'll get? You'll get something less. So raise the vibe, raise your expectations, and expect more. Just keep expecting it. And then slowly, little things, if you're not doing it yet, these things will stack up. They'll surprise you. I'm blown away every day. I can't begin to tell you what happened in my day today. All these things in this full moon, and it's just like one after another. I got this big envelope, this big letter that I've been waiting for actually a year and a half. And then I got a phone call from one of our customers and clients that we had to put some patience into this one job. It was a beautiful 18-karat gold ring, and he wanted it, just right. And I wanted to make sure it was just right because it was an expensive piece. And I wanted him to get the best. And that's the Peter Stone difference. And that's the way I do it in my life with everything. And maybe I lost a couple of bucks, but I didn't lose money. I still made some money as it is a business. But what I got was this phone call and this reward. And like, oh man, Peter, I put this ring on. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I just had to give you a call. And I'm like, well, thank you very much. And I really appreciate your patience because it took us 2.5 months to go back and forth to really get this thing right the way that he wanted it and the way I knew it should be for him. So he stuck it out. I stuck it out. And the rewards are great. And so when you stick it out, and don't give up on other people's influences. There's fireworks in the background if you didn't hear them. It sounds like a grand finale over in the next town over on the beach in Beverly Farms. At any rate, just do it a little bit at a time, no matter what comes at you. Know that the universe will always, always, always provide you the best. Even though you think, oh, I wanted this thing and I wanted that thing, but you got the other thing and it wasn't the thing that you wanted. Well, the bottom line is God has other plans for you, and you will get the biggest gifts when you are patient, you sit back and you let things go, and you have preferences rather than demands. And so my biggest lesson is really the thing that I wanted, I didn't get. And I learned that in time, whether it's a week, a day, a year, maybe 2, I've always gotten something spectacularly better, bigger in the way that it's more valuable to me mentally, spiritually, financially, whatever the thing is. But that's where the patience and the positivity comes in. And it's like, well, don't worry, everything is going to be fine. And I have another thing that I always remember. It's like, well, you know what? Here I am, I've done all these years, and, I've made it this far. And all the things, if I ever worried about them, way in the past, I used to worry all the time, but I gave it up because it wasn't any fun, and it was uncomfortable. And so I just turned it into an expectation, like, don't worry, Peter, because the good thing will show up, and that's the same for you. The good stuff will show up. And you got to give it time, you got to give it patience, but you got to give it faith from the inside. I mean, I'm not talking religious faith. I'm talking about expectation, the faith that all things will always come to those that wait, and that it when you expect it, expect the best to happen, and it will. So take that with a lot of weight, and take it forward, take it into this full moon, take it into the next week, focus on it, and make some lists, like what's going on in your life that's not really working well. What can you do to change it? And what about diet and that kind of thing? What kind of food replacement can you do? And what kind of exercises or fitness stuff that you can do? Can you dance? I love to dance. Like, I went into this place the other night and I tried to do a little, I didn't try. Like, the music was so damn good. And these people are sitting around. I'm like, what is wrong with you? This is a dance floor and I got to go dance. There was a couple people dancing, so I just hopped in there. But I tell you, dancing and putting that power into the moment, charge yourself up and bring that energy forward. And all of the little things that add up and stack up to lift you up. And don't forget, you are your own generator. You've got to push the negativity away, or I don't even like to use the word, but it's a reality, and you've got to invite the positivity. When you keep a positive vibe all around you, like an aura will repel anything that would actually hurt you or damage you. So mentally, physically, spiritually. And when you have that positivity, you've got it all. And you just have to keep working on it. I know, because if I told you the whole story, you'd be blown away. But I'm not gonna. I'm writing it, and that's good enough. So to all of you, on this beautiful full moon and 4th of July coming up tomorrow, live into your independence and your freedom, especially your personal independence. What our country's based on here, where you're free to do, speak, say what you want, and forget the other people that are damaging. Like, you gotta say what they want you to say. No, that's garbage. Say what you have in your heart, in your soul, on your mind. Be free, break free, live free, generate the energy that you need, that you want, and use the power of the full moon to remind you on your goals. And the new moon. I use the new moon as well. I look for it, I plan it, I put it in my phone. And I will be back here on the new moon with another video, just to keep us all lifted up, and including myself. I mean, these videos are for me as well as they are for you that need them. So thanks very much. And a happy 4th of July to everyone here in the USA. And I know they had something in Canada on the 1st of July. And the rest of the world, live into your heart, your soul, and your passions. This is Peter Stone saying thanks, stepping up and stepping out and making this year your best year yet. I'll talk to you.